These elections are truly historic for our nation. Before us is the opportunity to improve fundamentally the lives of Ghanaians. The choice is whether to move forward with the new patriotic party or go back to and with the National Democratic Congress. There are clear differences between the major parties. There are differences in our records of government. There are differences in our respective past performances. There are differences in our respective ideas and visions for the future. And there are differences in the presidential candidates of the parties. When I accepted my party's nomination at Legon in the early hours of the 23rd of December last year, I pledged my party and I to a positive campaign of ideas and urged other parties and candidates to do the same. I remain committed to that pledge. Fellow Ghanaians, I'm here this evening to explain to you why respectfully you should return the MPP majority to Parliament and elect me, Nana Addo Akuffo Addo, as your next president. I urge that you judge us in this election based on what we have done, what we are doing, and what we are going to do. Consistent with my party's values and its record of performance, I shall lead a team that will build on the solid foundation led by the NPP government under the leadership of His Excellency, the President of the Republic, John Akuffo, to transform our country from the third to the first world within our generation. That's our goal. I know that there are some in this country who oppose to us, who struggle not to acknowledge the performance of the NPP government. While we are a democracy and they're entitled to their opinions, they're not entitled to create their own facts. I respectfully but strongly disagree with their views about our performance. Here are some of the facts regarding our performance. First, the NPP government has given this nation its best economy in our half-century of independence. We have achieved macroeconomic stability for the longest period in our history. We have reduced significantly both interest rates and inflation, while nearly quadrupling the size of our economy to 15 billion United States dollars in the first 7 years of the NPP. We have worked hard to wean ourselves of the financial dependence of the World Bank and the IMF. We have today a sovereign credit rating of B+ and the ability to borrow on the international financial markets on our own. Indeed, last year, our first sovereign bond issue, which was for 750 million United States dollars, was oversubscribed to the tune of $3.2 billion. This, coupled with the increase in foreign direct investment, our selection for the Millennium Challenge account, and increased remittances are all testament to our successful management of the national economy. This year, despite the difficulties in the world which is affecting all the economies of the globe, ours is projected to grow by 7%. We've been able to get a debt relief of over 4 billion United States dollars, reducing our external debt from 15% of our GDP, from 152% of our GDP to 22% today. Indeed, today, we are recognized as one of the top 10 reforming countries in the world and the best place to do business in West Africa. Second, the plans and programs of the NPP have been the most effective of any government in addressing the needs of our people. We introduced in the year 2003 the National Health Insurance Scheme over the objections of the National Democratic Congress, and with that, freed Ghanaians from the clutches of the inhumane cash and carry system. Today, over 11 million Ghanaians have signed up, and more are signing up each day. In education, we have introduced the capitation grant and the school feeding program that have combined to increase primary school enrollment by an astonishing 30% over the last 3 years. It is gratifying to note that half of the increases have come from the 3 northern regions. Thus, while others talk, we are closing the gap between the North and the South with our policies. Our public universities have more than doubled enrollment from 44,000 into the year 2000 to 100,000 in 2007, while our polytechnics have increased enrollment for over 50% from 18,000 to 28,000. These expansions have been supported by massive government investments in educational infrastructure, the likes of which have not been seen in these last 40 years.